Hey, what it do, y'all? Hopefully y'all can hear me as I'm walking. I just thought about something, I realized with all this arguing that people do in person, online, I realized overall what it is to me is that there really isn't a right or wrong answer. There's just perspectives. And I'll tell you why. By the way, you see this? Yeah, this is so dope, right? Yeah, I know. All right, not to digress. Well, the reason why that there really isn't a right or wrong answer is simply because everybody's perspective is different. And so since everybody's perspective is different, I realize it's not really about trying to arrive to a certain right answer. It's just you come into a certain answer that best fits you, that best suits you. That's really what it comes down to. Oh, y'all like this too? Yeah, I like this as well. Yeah, I know. But see, like I said, it's all about perspectives, because even like with the little background graffiti I'm showing y'all, that's just perspectives, right? Because one person may like that graffiti. There may be somebody else that doesn't like that graffiti, that may not agree with that graffiti being there. Or you may just have somebody that may say, the graffiti is kind of like, I see the message, I see the purpose, but maybe I just don't think it looked that good there. Maybe it should have been on a different building. So once again, it comes down to different perspectives. I used to say something back in my blue pill days, and I think it actually applies now, especially in these times. And basically what I used to say is, it's not about being right or wrong, it's about being real. I think that's more important. It's about you being real. But the thing is, it's like when you get amongst somebody else with their view on reality, it's about the gelling of the two realities. Either your two realities will gel, or you might as well say, oh well, it just ain't go gel. But there really isn't a right or a wrong answer, in regards to the feminine and the masculine. Obviously it's about, we talk about yin and yang, and the male side is, the man's side per se is dominant, and the woman's side is passive, so it's all about conducting that. So, you may have, of course, now with what we're dealing with a lot of oppositions, Of course, the Harley that was almost riding by was definitely in opposition with this noise, so I had to let it pass. But nevertheless, still all about perspectives. That person riding in that Harley, his perspective is, I like my Harley this loud, and that's why I want to ride with it like the way that I do, But someone like me, I want a motorcycle that isn't that loud when I get my motorcycle. I'm thinking about electric motorcycles, y'all. And if you know of some, let me know in the comment section below. But overall, it's definitely about perspectives. Getting back to the feminine and the masculine. Well, the thing is we think about the law of attraction, and you hear law enforcement, Of course, that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but I like to put two and two things together. So, if you think about there's a law of attraction, is there such thing as a law of subtraction? Just to be straight to the point, I haven't heard of a law of subtraction. I think the law of attraction is attraction. So if things aren't attracted, some things are kind of out the law, right? But it's still nevertheless based on perspective. So if certain things aren't attracted to each other, that probably means, based on the law of attraction, those two things weren't meant to be attracted to each other. Now, this also can mean that if we're basing things on natural law, more than likely somebody is acting unnatural, and of course with a lot of these females' behavior, they're acting very unnatural because a lot of them aren't acting like women. A lot of them are not acting like women. That's why I make the distinction between female and woman. Just as I make the distinction between man and male. A lot of people aren't acting in their naturality, And so this really takes this whole idea of perspectives to another level. But to me at that point, I don't even look at it as perspectives. More or less it's based on that person's dogma, what they have in their mind, and that's where they're set at, and of course a lot of people are set in their ways. A lot of people are set in their own dogma. When you truly have perspectives, you're truly indifferent. And so this helps those in regards to, as I just said, with the law of attraction. If certain things aren't gelling with you, it wasn't meant to be gelled with you, so it just keeps bringing out this perspective, because once again, I don't believe in a right or a wrong answer. It's just more or less we haven't come to an answer. We haven't come to an agreement of what that answer should be. And, a lot of times it's based on maybe one not willing to see what your perspective is, or letting their perspective gel with your perspectives. But with all that said, even after the subtraction and the separations, once they separate, all you can really say is that they had a separate perspective of yours. Unfortunately, their perspective wasn't attractive enough to be attracted to your perspective. Signing out.